All right, we're here the next day after laying the block wall. It's hardened up nicely. I'm trying to drill out the holes that I drilled yesterday so that I can lay in some rebar. I think here I've got my hole already drilled mostly. I'm just going to bore it out a little bit more so I can get the rebar down in there. And then I'm going to cut a couple of channels here. I'm going to bend the rebar so it goes down in there and then folds over that. That should make this corner nice and strong, super strong, way stronger than any other part of this house. It goes all the way to the bottom, surprisingly. Now I can anchor it in there. I'll do that last though. Next, I need to dig this channel, so I need to get a marker so I can properly line this up. Boop, 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 boop. Measure it out. I don't know how long will this Harbor Freight grinder last, but I literally only paid like $34 for it. I mean, that's like cheaper than renting a tool. And I don't want to buy one with a battery that's all expensive and I only use it every once in a while. I'd rather buy this. It's reliable. No. I don't want it to go into that hole. Is that deep enough? I don't know. I guess I'll find out. The question is, where exactly do I use in my very precision-made rebar bending machine? Where do I stick this to get the proper bend? Let's test it. It's probably too tall. Okay. Go all the way through. Now how am I going to get that out of the tree? You got to find a different way to bend that, bub. Moving the whole trailer. All right, will that actually work or not? Oh, I'll take that. Look, they look like little batteries. Okay, there we go. Bent down in there into this one. This one sinks down into the new footer. Then it comes up and bends into the channel that I cut out. Comes over, bends again, and down into the existing cavern. I don't know if there's a real footer down there or not, but this rebar goes to the bottom of that pit. It's two and a half, three, it's 3 bricks deep. So once I fill that with concrete most of the way, and then I cap it off with the grout, we should be good. I should have my gloves on because this thing is hot. Okay. So I need to cut some channels. Cut it with a metal blade. That's just not going to work very well.
Stay away from your knees this time.
Yeah. Okay, that'll work. And we're going to bend it pretty much where we had it bent earlier. Of course, I sweat right on top of my mark. See if we can bend this. You might be happy with that bend. I just got to get this thing cut down to size. I got to take off 6.5 inches. Hallelujah. It fits. It fits. I'm not quite ready to fill that in yet, Briggs. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. It's all right. You keep going. Less work for me to do. All right. I'll go bend that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's bend that right about here. But I gotta make sure I bend it properly. Let's see. Yeah, right. Okay. I'm not sure which way goes down. Hopefully that way. The bend is too far forward. That will work, but the bend is in the wrong spot. Where's my mark? My mark is there. That means this goes over there. And that should go in there. Just like that. It needs to be farther over. Well, would you look at that? I skipped on the plan to use grout to top off these columns simply for cost reasons. It's $20 a bag for grout, but $6 a bag for the concrete. And there's really no obstructions in the columns except one rebar that's anchored down. So the concrete should flow around everything just fine. All right, I finally got the sill seal, and this is the 7.5-inch version. Overkill? I don't know. But I already bought the wood, and I didn't want to put a smaller sill seal under the 2x8, so it made sense to get a better fitting sill seal. So here we go. Do I try to measure out each bolt, or do I stick this thing on top? Get that in. That looks pretty good. First one is right about here. Third one. Hey. All right, let's see what happens. Funny was her. Near long. Yeah. All right, I could probably get the bolts on those down there, but this one, not so much. Thing is, I sank it down. I kept the threads above. That one's low. But the other one's, I don't know. I can't fix it now.
But in fact, I did fix it. I used a socket and a hammer, and I just indented the wood more, and I didn't use the washer. I was only able to get the nut on both of those two J-bolts. But good enough for my use.
Look at that, that's all I got left. I bought a 16-footer and an 8-footer to put this this cap on. And all I had left were those two little nuggets. I think it's pretty good. I made it work. I'm happy with the way this turned out. I'm ready to build this wall.